flow. So baby, don't you change that station. Be a part of this history that's in the making. It don't matter what you're doing, just save it. And you can get back to it later. And you can catch some of this flavor. Appreciate that, man. That was real. Hey, real, recognize real as a G-Law. Always be yourself, never be a fraud. Life is up and down, call it seesaw. Stay woke, triple R, ringing the alarm. Franchella, internet, feeling better. Made from pure chocolate, dipped in vanilla. Caught up in the rain under your umbrella. Always rock the house from the roof to the cellar. That's why I gotta tune in. When you're on camera, I hope they zoom in. So many shows only let the fools in. Out my mind, they evicted so you can move in. Cause real, recognize real. Always turned up, so lay back and just chill. Ain't thinking about drama, ain't thinking about bills. A natural high. No reason, no pills. Just you, baby. Real, recognize it, real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize
that Joe will never get out of date. Let me tell you, the shout out to P. Shaw, who
OG Law,
yes, Outlaw, who put this together like a few years ago, right?
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you. So, a lot of times we don't play this intro, but when we do, I be feeling it. It's like you gotta get into it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get into it. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. I am your host, Franchella.
And I'm the co-host, Lynette. Hey.
Hey. What's up, sis? Good to see you. I know we do our show every second Tuesday of the month.
Good to see
sometimes
you.
It seems like forever, but then sometimes it just life be life.
Life be life, and for sure.
Life be life, and just like moving on. Before you know it, it's here. And I always look forward to our show, to our guests, our conversation. And I just think this is our year, 2025. We're going to be doing some big things. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I'm truly excited. I'm blessed. And what about you? What's going on with you, girl?
Happy Women's History Month. Let's just put that out there. Happy Women's History Month. Shout out to all the amazing women out there. Keep doing what you're doing, because like Franchella said, we're going to thrive in 2025.
Hey, yes, it's the hashtag. That's the hashtag. So no matter what we posting, you better put that up there. We're going to thrive in 2025. I'm loving it. But I see our guests sitting in the green room. I see Nick. He don't see us yet because I didn't bring him up, but we're going to bring him up, the funny man, Nick. Let's bring him up.
Okay, we ready. Thank you for being on time. Hi.
What you pointing to, Nick?
Your microphone is muted.
Is your microphone mute?
Yeah, you can see the microphone with the X.
Oh, let's see if I can. I don't think I can unmute him. Let me see.
You trying to push something?
I don't know. What we'll do is we'll bring
them back
up.
Okay, y'all know how technology is.
Together. Yeah, technology is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It's wonderful when it works, but when it doesn't, it sucks. But y'all know what happens. We still keep it rolling because we live. This is not Memorex. Shout out to everybody who always tuning in. Shout out to Big T. I see you, Tony.
You know it.
Franchella's boo, her husband. So what we gonna do? We gonna dive right into something, or we just
let's see. I think I don't see let's try to see if we can bring Nick up again. Nick, can we hear?
There he is.
I got you. Hello, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So I'm gonna give you a proper introduction, and then we'll go right into it. So, Nick Colletta is an actor, a writer, and comedian who studied at both Playhouse West Acting School in Philly and Atlantic Acting School in New York. He has over 25 years of experience doing stand-up comedy and is known most notably for his character, Nicky Attitude. Nick is from Philadelphia and has performed in both film and theater, starring in several different film and theater productions. As a stand-up comic, he was nominated for Best Comedic Actor in Playhouse West Film Festival. So welcome to the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio Show, Mr. Nick Colletta.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you having me on your show.
No problem.
I know we're still all floating on that Super Bowl win.
Woo! Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
EAGLES Eagles.
You got the green. You got the green in the background. I got a little bit of green. Yes.
Let me tell you a little something. Let me tell you a little something about that.
Okay.
That shirt is for my show. I have a one-man show called Proud to be a Philadelphian, and we'll get into that. But the night of the Super Bowl, I was saying to my wife, I really need the Eagles to win this game. Soon as they won the game, I go online, I order 200 shirts in Kelly green. I figure I'm going to hit the Eagles, I'm going to hit the city of Philadelphia, and I'm going to hit the Irish knuckleheads for St. Patty's Day.
I know that's right.
So I'm full Italian. I'm not Irish, but you know, hey, God bless them. God bless everybody. To be honest with you,
what does your shirt say?
My shirt. Well, let me do the Bryce Harper.
Proud to be a Philadelphian. Yes.
Proud to be a Philadelphian. That's my show. You know, I do a lot of inspirational quotes I get in my emails, and I read a lot of the Stoics and stuff like that. And one of my favorite quotes is by Maya Angelou, when she said, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you.
Wow.
And proud to be a Philadelphian was always inside me. I'll be 66 in about a month and a half, less than that. And I have heard nothing but hate for our city my entire life from the outsiders.
Right.
Not from the people inside the city and our brothers and sisters in the Delaware Valley area, say.
Right.
But the states that are north, south, and west of us, they all hate us. I mean,
we get a bad rap. Philly gets a bad rap. So I know what you're saying.
A bad rap, that's being very kind. They hate us. And
well, what did Kelsey say, right? He was like, they hate us and we don't care. That was his thing.
Well, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that because I care, because I know what this city has done for this country.
Yeah, a lot of good came out of Philadelphia.
Yes. Everything in this country started right here in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
It's all in my show. All the inventions. First off, we're responsible for the freedom and development of America. That's it.
Absolutely.
And we created the whole banking system for this country. We had the first mint. We had the first bank. We had the first stock exchange. We gave our country the national identity through our currency. Came out of Philadelphia.
Right.
The whole health system came out of Philadelphia. We had the first hospital. We had the first school of pharmacy. We had the first children's hospital, the first hospital dedicated to the eye. All these facts are in my show. And I try to put it on a little bit of a comedic way. But to be honest with you, I'm a little pissed off at the disrespect that we get.
That attitude. You got that attitude, right, Nick?
Every Philadelphian has an attitude. You know why? Because we're street smart. That's what we are.
That part.
That's what we are. Franchella, you're from Overbrook, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I used to deliver their payroll. I used to have, when I was working, I retired when I was 56 and a half. I worked for the Teamsters for 25 years, and I decided to go to school. That's when I went to Playhouse West. I went there for 3 years, and I dedicated myself to learning the acting craft. I know you guys are actors, and you know how difficult it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really hard craft to get down. You know, a lot of people. It was funny doing stand up, and this guy came up to me and says, "You know, I'm having an audition tomorrow for this show. I think you'd be really good at it." And you know, I said, "Well, I've never acted." He goes, "Oh, just come to the audition." It was for a hitman in this web series. Surprise, surprise. You know, I'm full Italian, part Sicilian. And I'm getting typecasted already from the get-go, and I haven't even had an acting job yet. So I show up for the audition, and, you know, being a comic, I make some stupid jokes about being a hitman. And I get a call. That was on a Saturday. I get a call that Tuesday from the director, and he says, "Listen, I'm not going to have you as a hitman." And I'm like smacking myself going, "You had to say them dumb jokes, right?" And he goes, "I'm going to put you in the lead role as the mob boss of Philadelphia." And I said, "Whoa." I said, "I've never acted before." And he said, "Don't worry, I'll direct you." I said, "Okay." And it was like a guerrilla shoot. You only had a certain amount of time in this one restaurant, you know, different locations, only had a certain amount of time.
Right.
So when the premiere happened, I was with my wife and we're sitting in the audience, and I saw myself on the big screen, and I saw myself just waiting to deliver my lines. And that's not acting. And you could say it. And I turned to my wife and said, "If I want to do this, I have to go to school and learn it." And she said, "Well, do that. If that's what you want to do it." And that was in November of 15. I entered Playhouse West Acting School. January of 2016, I quit my job. I retired. I had 25 years in with the Teamsters, and I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. And I've been doing it ever since. You know,
it's definitely a craft, and some people, they just have it. I mean, evidently he saw something in you, you know, with being a comedian, that he thought that you would be perfect. And sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit that, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. But you took an extra step and went to even learn the craft even more, so that you could perfect it, you know? I mean, like, it's so many, you know, it's so many people who went to school for acting, and they're actors and actresses. But then you have some, like, you know, musicians, rappers who just jumped in because if you got it, you got it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's just a gift within. And yes, you can go to school to learn a little bit more about that gift, but evidently, Nick, you had it. You already had it. You just needed to bring it out.
I have a story when I was looking at your bio, I was like, he looks so familiar. He looks so familiar. I've seen him somewhere. So I went and did some research, and I was like, I was on set with you before for Catwoman Retribution.
For what project was that?
Catwoman Retribution. It was a very long time ago.
With Colletta?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you may have seen me with, do you know Jamil Jones from Pleasant Life Productions?
His name sounds familiar.
African-American production company. I did a play for him. That is the Rotunda on, I think it was like 34th and Market, something like that. I've been on a lot of sets. There's a lot of good African American actors and directors that I've worked with. There's a girl now coming up that I think is going to be really spectacular. Her name's Nia Trusty, and she has her own production.
Hey, that's our that's Naya.
Naya, you know Naya?
Yes, she used to intern for the show. She used to be an intern for our show.
I see she's engaged now.
Yeah, I saw that. I love her. I love her because I did a web series where she was the producer, and she had gotten us this office building at the top of like the Comcast Center. And when we were on set, she did not play. And that's what I like. Don't waste time.
Shout out to Naya.
I hate when people waste time. And I'm telling you, she's going to be a star. That girl's going to be a star.
Absolutely.
I back everything she does. I back everything she does. I try to help her out. If she needs somebody, I'll try to help her. You know, she reached out to me a couple times, but I was doing like other projects and I couldn't, like play the role that she wanted me to do.
Right,
but yeah, she's a really she's a rising star. I think.
I agree. She's
amazing when she worked with us. But I mean, I never got a call. What's up?
She always. You go on Philly
Philly Can't or Philly Film.
Film.org. Yeah, she posts. I see her post a lot of jobs on film.org.
Right.
Yeah. So she's working. She's hustling.
She is. She definitely is keeping herself busy. Yeah, she did. She left us to pursue her passion, which is being behind the camera and behind the scenes and being a production assistant and being involved in film and theater. So we always wished her the very best. So
I do too. I really listen. I'm the type of person, and being an actress, you especially in comedy and in acting, I found out, I've been doing stand-up now. I just started my 38th year. I started in 88.
Wow.
I did a show February the 1st for the Kiwanis Club down in Swedesboro, New Jersey, to help them raise money. I, along with other comics, I'm not taking credit by myself, but I've helped raise millions of dollars for charities over 38 years doing shows. It's a lot of shows.
Right.
And the one guy that I work with, a good buddy of mine, Joe Conklin, he does the voices on WIP radio. He does so much charity work. I've done so many shows with him. I've done every theater there is, sold out shows, 3,000 people. Helped raise a lot of money. So with this show, what happened was in 2023, my New Year's resolution was to write a show about our city. And I started in January of 2023. Took me 3.5 months to do the research that I wanted. And I got to be honest with you, ladies, I was stunned. And I said this on a different podcast. I was a little ashamed of not knowing all the history about our city.
Right.
I mean, there is a lot of history about our city. So that took me 3.5 months to get all the history. Then it took me a couple months to structure the show, how I wanted to present it. And then I went into rehearsals for like 3 months. And I was doing 2 rehearsals a day. I would do one in the daytime. I'm retired, so I don't do anything all day. I got all day. You go down to my living room, my recliner chair, there's a bookcase behind it. I'll get a book. After I work out or whatever, I'll get a book. I'll sit there, I'll read till I take my nap. And, I'll do that. But I wanted to be in the Fringe Festival. And there's a guy, maybe you've come across him, Matthew Brett. Do you know Matt?
I went to the Fringe Festival because one of my girls, Melita, she was in one of the plays there in the festival. So I probably met him, but I don't.
Yeah, he's a really good actor, and he was my producer for the Fringe Festival. He also produced the movie that I made. We used to have to make a movie when you went to Playhouse West, because he wanted you to experience everything that is involved in the business. You know, you got to have the pressure of producing, directing, casting, everything that's involved in a movie. You know, I didn't realize it until I shot my movie, and that's why I like strict people on sets, because I know what it's like. And don't be playing.
You get things done. You get things done when you stay focused, you know.
No, absolutely. So Nick, I'm gonna be honest. If I seen you, I would say he don't look like he's funny. So you got to give us something. Give us a little something.
What, I'm funny?
Yes.
Okay. Of course.
All right, I'll tell you what. Pass the hat around. When you get 300 hours, I'll do my show. Listen, I don't want to drop this word, but I'm a prostitute. I'm not a whore. I get paid. I don't give it away for free. So
that sounds like something I said.
Right? So there you go. There's your little bit. To be honest with you,
I mean, it gotta be something from your old. I ain't talking about the new show, like, you know, the Philadelphia show, like something from your old show, like, you know, what type of comedian you would consider yourself to be?
I had an attitude. It's funny. I used to run a comedy club back in the day. My friend owned it. And I go up one night to see a show, and my buddy, childhood friend, comps me, the four of us that were there, puts us up front. After the show, I went back to him. I said, "Hey, Johnny," I said, "I think I could do this." He goes, "I'll tell you what, write 5 minutes of material, and I'll put you up as the house MC. And this way you get to work in front of an audience." And I said, "Okay." So I wrote 5 minutes of jokes, and I went up as the house MC, and I was doing 8 shows a week. Back in the day, we're talking 88, we're talking when comedy was like on A&E, MTV, it was all over TV. I mean, it was big. People were getting paid a lot of money. So I got more stage time than any other comic in Philly. And the reason being, I'll admit it, my friend owned a comedy club. I'm not gonna lie, you know. I don't lie. I'm a Philadelphian. We don't lie. That's one thing about us Philadelphians. We don't lie. We're not. People say we're rude. We're not rude. We're honest.
Honest. It's a difference. It's a difference.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You get it. I was saying, you get, like, if you're downtown and a tourist comes up to you and says, "Where's the Rocky Steps at?" You're gonna look at him and say, "The Rocky Steps." I don't know where the Rocky Steps are at, but do you mean the steps to one of the greatest art museums in the country? I can tell you where those steps are at. So we don't lie. I'm honest. I'm too old to lie. And plus, I don't want to have to remember anything.
Right? It's hard to keep up with all the lies.
You can't. You can't do it.
You can't remember all your lies.
My wife will tell you, you know, I'm too honest for her sometimes, because she's not, you know, my wife's in great shape and all that. But if my wife was to say to me, "Hey, hon, do I look fat in these pants?" And she looked fat, I'd say, "Yeah, put a pair of black ones on." You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would just be honest with, and she loves that about me, because I don't pull any punches. Like I said, I'm going to be 66 years old. I ain't got time for that.
Right?
Do you feel like it's hard to make people laugh? Like, do you feel like comedy is like, it's not easy because you got to cater to different types of audiences and everybody has a different type of sense of humor? Or do you find it easy?
It's the hardest art form there is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It's just you and a microphone, unless you have props. If you're Carrot Top or somebody like that and you have props to use, but it's just you and a microphone. And I've been lucky because I I had a lot of really good mentors when I first started. I had guys telling me what to do and what not to do. Mm-hmm. And I was a Teamster and I was doing stand-up. And my buddy said to me, are you here just to make your friends laugh, or are you here to make a living? I said, well, I'd like to make a, nice side hustle doing this. He goes, well, then don't become a headliner, because you'll be taking food off the table of a guy that does this, just this. He doesn't have a Teamster job. I wasn't giving up that pension. That pension was always in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now when I sit back and that check goes in the bank account every month, I have no regrets of doing what I did. So I became basically a really strong featured act, which is you have the MC who's supposed to warm the crowd up.
Right.
And I tell, a friend of mine sent me a clip. He just did a set up in New York and he cursed a lot. And I just said to him, I said, listen, you cannot curse up front. That sets the tone of the stage. Your job is to just welcome the people, get some laughs, bring on the next guy. Then he takes it up another level. And then the headliner closes it out crescendo. The worst thing when I was running the comedy club is when I would have somebody at the end of the show come up to me and say, hey, that was a great show. You were really funny. The last guy was funny, but the middle guy, I hated that. I wanted them to say, that was a great show. See you next week. Because that audience is small.
Right.
The comedy club audience that goes out to see live shows.
Right.
I'm seeing it now. It's a small audience. And you want to be part of a great show, a great ensemble. You just want to be part of a great show. You don't want to hear. I didn't want to hear that.
Right.
That's what I did not want to hear. Now getting back to so when I became the feature, you got to read the room. So I would sit back in the back of the room and watch the first guy go up, and I would see what they're laughing at, how far to the edge I could go without going over the edge.
Right.
I'm not a really dirty comic. I in this show that I do, I only say one curse word, and I can take it out because I just got booked for the library in Philadelphia. And so I could take that curse word out, but the curse word is when I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely got to say a curse word for them.
Every Philadelphia's going to use it, and it's a-hole. So, but
it's definitely tough. Like you said, Lynette, the audience, the different faces. It's like, anything that's live when you're doing stage plays, preachers for churches, like when they have to look out to the audience, you have some people frowning and some people laughing, some not laughing. Sometimes that could like mess you up. So they always say, do not focus on your audience, because if you focus on that audience, it kind of messes with your mind. Mike Epps was on, I forgot what show he was on, and I was listening to him, and he was saying how hard they worked. They worked so hard to get where they are today, like all those comedians back in the day, where the new comedians, he said, he's not taking anything away from them, and they're funny, but it's like now you got social media. They didn't have social media back in the day, so it was so much they had to prove. Now with social media, you can just be funny and make money and don't even have to really do any shows. You monetizing on all these social media platforms. Right. So it is definitely something to commend you on, Nick, because it is a career that is tough, to be funny, because everybody's not always funny, even though you can be funny in a small setting with your family and everybody, oh, you're so funny, and then you try to get on the big stage and it's totally different, so.
It's funny that you said that, because I would get guys coming up to me after the show at my buddy's club, and they said, all my friends told me I'm funny, I should be a comic. And I'd always try to be nice. But that little gerbil was going around in my head saying what I really wanted to say. And what I would say to them is, yeah, you should try it. But what I wanted to say to them was, let me tell you something. Unless all your friends are going to go to your show and laugh at you, then you'll be funny. But try to make 200 strangers that you've never seen before. They've never seen you, never heard one word out of your mouth. Try to make them laugh. That's when you know you're funny.
Right.
That's when you know you're funny. Your friend, just because you make your friends crack up doesn't mean you're funny.
No, right.
I mean, I always used to make my friends laugh, you know, but that didn't mean I was a stand-up comic. I had to learn it. I had to learn the craft.
Right.
And doing 8 shows a week, really, I mean, I was so fortunate. I was so fortunate. But
so tell everybody where they can find you, Nick, on your social media
and your show.
Proud to be a Philadelphian.com. I teamed up with Fink's Catering. They're a catering place in Mayfair. And Dennis Fink is a guy who does a lot of charity work. I put this show together after it's done in the Fringe Festival. My show is to help every Philly organization raise money for their cause. You ladies know cuts are coming. Cuts are coming. Yeah. There ain't going to be money out there for, you know, people to be able to do things because of politics. Cuts are coming. Yeah. So if any Philly organization, I don't care if it's in West Philly, my old stomping ground, my whole route was basically West Philly. I did from Parkside to Market, from Lancaster down to 48th. I did that whole block square there. Okay. Like I said, I used to deliver Overbrook High School's payroll. Okay. Any Philly organization that needs to raise money, just go to proudtobeaphiladelphian.com. My contact information's there. You'll see the price for a show for your ticket. Like say you had a women's club and you wanted to do a fundraiser. We give you a price. You could pretty much triple that price and raise money because the price is so low. I'm here to help people. Most of my life's in the rear view. What I'm seeing in the windshield, I want to do for my city because I love this city with all my heart. Nice. And ain't nobody going to mess with it while I'm still here.
I know that's right.
I hear you, Nick. Thank you.
I'm being for real on that. Nobody is going to. No, when I go on vacation and somebody, you know, like I used to try to represent everywhere I would go. You know, if I was in Jamaica, if I was in Cancun, Aruba, you know, Vegas, wherever I was, I would either have, you know, like a Philly shirt or an Eagle shirt, and it's funny because when you walk down the street and the people see that you're from Philly, sometimes they like move to the side because of our reputation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, really?
Move out the way. Move out the way.
Or they're asking you about the cheesesteaks.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that is without a doubt the greatest sandwich in the world.
No, absolutely.
Every city you go to in this country has either a restaurant, a deli, or a diner that has a Philly cheesesteak on their menu. Mm-hmm. Personally, I find this to be a crime against our city. I don't like these guys using our name for their profit. You know what I'm saying? They don't make the sandwiches like we make it.
Definitely not.
You know, you get a yokel from Florida selling a tourist his Philly cheesesteak and having that tourist believe that's what our sandwiches taste like? Nah.
Not at all. But thank you so much for coming on the show, Nick. We truly appreciate, you know, best of luck to you and all your endeavors, your acting career, your shows. You know,
I really appreciate your time, ladies, and it's the most important thing anybody can give anybody because you can never get it back. So if anybody wants to raise money one last time before I get out of here, proudtobeaphiladelphian.com. Just type it in, all one word. and you'll get in touch with me, and I will help you raise money. I will work with you to help you raise money.
No, we would definitely put that after the show. We will put that on our site, that information.
I appreciate it, ladies. You have a great night. I enjoy your show. I've watched your shows, so
thank you.
All the success.
Thank you so much. We wish the same for you. We wish you the same
from Philly. I'm behind.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Nick.
See you, ladies. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Y'all, it's so awesome. So y'all see, as we show y'all, most of the people that are on our show are Philadelphians, and we're not all bad people. You know what I mean? I think we're very passionate about whatever it is that we are doing or saying. So it could come across to people that like we're mean or whatever, but it's our passion about whatever it is that we're talking about. But I think that we're all good at heart. Although some do go astray, you know, there's always a bad apple in every bunch.
Yeah, and that's everywhere. That's
right,
everywhere.
Exactly. But for the most part,
yeah.
We're good-hearted people, you know.
Oh, I see Birdman up in here. Let me bring him up into the studio.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
What's going on, everybody? I'm multitasking. It's a pleasure to be on with you ladies tonight. I had to silence the birds and the pets. Yeah, because they were doing some Jumanji stuff. I had to calm everybody down before you brought me on.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, calm them down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in the background.
So basically in the background, y'all, I'm kind of I'm multitasking because I have something that I'm trying to, a TV thing that I'm watching really quickly. So I'm trying to, can y'all hear it?
No, I hear that something's on. I hear that the TV is on.
Great. Okay, great. But listen, I just want to give a big shout out to my friend, good friend, Franchella, for bringing me on. You guys, I always enjoy working with her, and this is a great opportunity just to talk with y'all tonight. I won't talk your ear off, but I just appreciate the spotlight.
We appreciate your time, so thank you.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right into it, y'all. What you got, Lynette?
So we're gonna talk about. Well, first, I want to say condolences to the family, fans, and friends of Angela Stone, who died tragically in a car accident. She will be missed. A beautiful talent, beautiful soul. So I just want to put that out there. We also want to mention the Wendy Williams. Y'all, I know y'all have seen it on the television since 2022, I believe. She was under guardianship, you know, by a court-ordered guardianship. And so now she's been on a few things saying how she doesn't feel like she's losing her mind. She feels like she has her own faculty. She can manage her own money and so on and so forth. Of course, I have a theory. I think that when her mother died and the father died, I think he's deceased, I'm not sure, but when her parents were ill and her husband, she went through the things with her husband, I think that she didn't get the proper counseling, therapy, you know, to kind of wrap her head around all of these things happening so simultaneously, almost back to back. And still trying to work and still trying to raise her son and still trying to be her Wendy Williams. I think it kind of may have mentally done some things to her mentally, but do I think that she had to be under guardianship? No.
Right.
I think that some people, they probably were feeding her stuff and making her even more sick to have the guardianship. Now that's my theory. I'm not saying that it's factual. It's just what I believe. You know, I'm not saying it's factual.
So, and you're absolutely right. You know, and I think Birdman, we talked about a little bit earlier about mental health and how important it is, and the strongest of the strong can break down at any minute. You know, like and it could be any situation that happens. You don't know. First of all, life be life, and so many things be happening in life, and you don't know or can predict what's going to happen. Because if we knew how our life was going to go, right, from the beginning to the end,
we would be making
different choices and handle things differently and stuff like. But we don't know. Is the unknown. But it's certain things in our lives that, you know, we think we can handle it, but when it happens, we fall apart, you know? And so that's what I think. You're right, Lynette. What happened with her? Same with Kanye West.
Absolutely.
His mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's, you know, is when he lost his mom, he has not been the same.
Because he hadn't gotten the treatment that he needs, the counseling, the therapy that he needs. Like we try to be so strong that it breaks us down on the inside. You know, I always say what goes in must come out in some way. You know what I mean? And if you don't get the proper therapy, it's going to manifest itself in the wrong way, and that's what you don't want. You want help. It's okay to ask for the help that you need when you need it. So what do you think, Birdman?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you asked me. Listen, I believe this. I believe even from children, we all have some trauma and things in our life trigger certain things, and it brings out that as Franchella can tell you, I knew Wendy Williams because Wendy Williams is the one that gave me the name Birdman when I worked at Power 99. And she's pretty much I died at T-Cross type of person. So I kind of agree with you. That's kind of unlike her because she's razor sharp and she stays on point with things. So a lot of that, I think your behavior is affected when you lose people that are really close to you. But then I do believe people study people and they do things that do your triggers. You know that, ladies. Absolutely. You know, it's people that study you pretty well that know what to do to make you appear to be a certain way so people can create a certain narrative about you. You see what I mean? We see this all the time.
Yes.
And it's some people that get on social media that are masters of creating narratives, but we as a culture, we have big, strong defense mechanisms, and I think that our triggers, we all have triggers, but I think sometimes, I'm not going to generalize, but I think Afro-American people, our triggers are faster, and we have zero tolerance with certain things. And I think the more we mature, the faster those triggers get activated with certain things. Do you agree with me, ladies?
Or deactivated. I think the more you mature, the more you learn how to ignore the triggers.
Okay.
You know,
do you think they get activated? Like, do you think that things, and not to cut you off, things that maybe irritated you, I'm going to say in 1995, will that same thing bother you in 2025?
I know. I think it's desensitized. You become desensitized to it.
Okay.
I'm completely different.
I won't allow you that much power and control over my emotions. You're not that important.
Well, but that's the part. If you're not important, yeah, I can be like on to the next. But if you are important in part of my life and a part of who I am, and I care about you, yes, that trigger from 1919 is going to be the same trigger today, and it can be two different people, but I feel the same way because I care too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If somebody I don't care about, like, be going, you know, bye, boo boo. I can care less if I don't talk to you anymore. If I don't see you anymore, you know.
Right.
Now, do you think that women are better with that, or do you think men are grudge holders? Because I think sometimes it takes me like 5 to 7 business days sometimes when things get under my skin that I have to let it go. And
I think men mask it.
Yeah.
You think can women dismiss stuff easily than men, you believe, or you think men are good with dismissing stuff?
No, I think men mask it. I think they say they dismissed it, but they mask it because they don't want to be viewed in a certain way. The masculinity type, femininity type thing. I think,
great.
Yeah. Right. I think we just like Deanna just said, we hold on to things. You know what I mean? We can't let it go, even in relationships, right? Like how many times in a relationship, you know, maybe the man had cheated on the woman and she'll keep bringing it up, even though he said it's over, he's sorry, you know, you're supposed to move on, but it's always hard for us to move on. Guys, y'all can argue and something happen. Next time you see each other, y'all giving each other a pound. Yo, what's up, bull? And
right. But you know what? Now I did hear this. That and a female friend, she told me this, ladies, and you tell me if you agree. I've heard, and she wrote a book about this, but this is a great friend of mine. She said that she thinks that mama's boys are the biggest grudge holders because they take their triggers and trauma off. They take it out on their wives sometimes because they want her to walk in the shoes of their mother. I told her I don't agree with her, but she said that. You know, I'm not sure, and I know, Frantella, you're married. Do you think that? And I'm not saying it's your mama's boy, but a married person. Do you think that?
I don't consider my husband to be a mama's boy.
Oh yeah, no, I know that for a fact. I'm saying on the marriage aspect because you are married. I'm like, do you think that?
No,
in a marriage that most guys kind of want the wife to fit the mother mold when the triggers are activated.
Well, no, I think it all depends. Like, so for my husband, no, because you know, completely different, and you know his situation, him not being a mama's boy. But if you have somebody that is a mommy's boy and they love the ground they mother walk on, they do want their mate or the woman that they meet to mimic and be somewhat, not exactly like mama, but somewhat like their mother, because I'm not saying they worship the ground they walk on, but it's just something that they expect that woman to be like, you know. So for an example,
if she was a good mother,
right? She was a very good mother. So she, you know, she wasn't a cussing mother. She was church. And then you get a girlfriend who every time you turn around, every word come out her mouth is like, they're like, hold up, you know. I didn't grow up around that, and that don't look good to me. That's not appealing to me, you know. So I think it's every, but then you can also have, like, you know, and usually mama boys are usually, they don't have a lot of other siblings, or they the only son, right? Okay. So I mean, I don't know, but that's just my observation.
Okay, so you say that normally the only child, because that mom is so overbearing over that son, that's what his no one will ever be good enough, because I'm just giving you guys an example. My female friend, she said her mother-in-law would call her husband to do stuff and his father was right there and she couldn't understand that. And I said, and he would throw in her face, you only get one mother, and you know, but I could get another wife. So she became a bit offended by that. But I said, maybe he just was being emotional, you know what I mean? So that triggered her. And I always like to talk to females like yourself to get some advice, because I think a female will get better advice from another female. So I think you only get one mother and you only get one wife if it's the wife you love. Right. You know what I'm saying? I told her that, and I said, Jesse, he has to come to grips with that or whatever. You know, she said he has brothers. And he has a brother that lives with her, and she just can't understand it. I'm like, well, maybe he's the favorite. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell her, ladies.
Right. Well, the thing of it is, if the marriage is not built on religion, if it's not built on you know, following God's word, it's not going to work, because at that point the wife should be the head over the mother, you know what I mean, over the children. So if it's not, that's not a part of their relationship, that's going to be hard right there, you know. And all those red flags should have already been there when they were dating.
Which I'm sure they were. But sometimes people overlook things, or they think that, well, when we get married, things going to change. Yeah, what's going to change is your last name. That's it. But, you know, a lot of people they think, oh, yeah, it's going to get this way, this way. If y'all don't work on it in the courtship, right? You know, anyway,
because I'm loving this conversation because a lot of my female friends I'm going to have to get them to tune in when I do these spotlights, because I love the why I love, and I'll say this, I love a friend Chella's page because she's very authentic with her posts and her pictures with her and her husband, and they are both cool people because I know them, and it's real, and she's, you know what I'm saying, and then you can tell that they have that understanding, and they don't they're not distracted by
outside
right, exactly, and those triggers. But I believe that, I don't know, ladies, if we're taught triggers, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I think we all have triggers, and that trigger unleashes our trauma of something that happened to us, where people just carry something around. Like my friend, they're divorced. They're divorced, and she said his new wife doesn't look anything like her, and he had a new baby with the new wife, but she said that she doesn't want her kids to socialize with the new kid. So, like, I don't get that family dynamic. I don't get into that. That's why I love talking to ladies like yourself.
Evidently, she still has feelings for her ex-husband. That's why she's putting the kids in the middle, because the kids don't have nothing. They're brothers and sisters, not biological through her.
Now, are you ladies, are you in agreement with that? Because I know a lot of women can't accept when their ex-husband has another kid, that they include that in the family. They're like, well, no, they don't want to deal with that.
Regardless of what,
let me say this. Go ahead. Right, Lynette, and I'm letting Lynette chime in.
Sure.
It all depends on the situation, right?
Okay.
Now, if chick came and was cheating with my husband and kind of took him from me, right. No, I don't want to have you better get away from me, because it's gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So it all depends on the situation. No, if it was a mutual agreement to separate, and then she went her way, he went his way, he found somebody, and no, so they should now be a combined family because of that. But but then that's a scenario number 2. But the third one is they got a divorce. He didn't want her, but she still really wanted him, but he wanted the divorce. So now she's in her feelings because he has a new boo, and now he got a kid. So when you bring kids into things, like even when you cheating or married, like, she might have hope that they broke up and she can get back with him. But now that they have a kid, that just changes everything. You know what I mean? So
now,
go ahead.
Is that a trigger, ladies?
It's a trigger.
Is that a trick? What he did, is that triggers? Is that a trigger, or is that trauma?
It could be both.
Yeah.
It could be both. It could be it could be both. Like, it could be a trigger in a sense that, okay, let's say she really loved this man or whatever. She was thinking she was doing everything right, and then somehow they just went awry, and then he just decided to get a divorce. And so that triggered her to be emotional, that triggered her to feel the way she does about the girl and all of that. But then it could be trauma, because let's say it's been a pattern of her, if he cheated, it's been a pattern of her past, and she's been cheated on, and now it builds up to her trauma. So she's like, y'all all the same or whatever. So it could be both, depending on what their situation was. But to answer your question in terms of the family and the extended family and how would one deal with it, it depends. Like Franchella said, for me, I look at it like this. That's your sibling, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
You all got the same father. That's your sibling. Whether no matter how it was conceived, or whether she cheated, whatever he cheated, whatever he left me or whatever he wanted to go ahead. Like if you don't want me, I don't want you. Period.
Right.
Period. So I wish you nothing but the best. Now, of course I got feelings, so they're gonna be hurt and everything.
Right.
I'm not gonna take it out on a child. That's your sister. That's your brother. Regardless. However, the only way I wouldn't want my child to interact with them is if the mother was trifling.
Okay.
Right.
If she's a bad influence and not a good role model, she want to get high, smoke weed, and all that around my kid. No, it's not going over there. But if somehow we can say, okay, it didn't work out between us, I hope it work out between y'all. We have to figure out. We have to be mature adults and figure out how we going to, bring our children together because they are siblings. To me, it doesn't happen overnight, but it's something that should happen eventually. Right.
But when do we get to that point, lady?
Maturity.
Do you think that
maturation is everything?
Let me see. Emotionally, when do you think a man is really emotionally mature where they'll stop doing behaviors that sets women's trauma and triggers off? When do you think that we get that?
I think it's individually. I don't think that you can lump it up and say, oh, by the age of, because I know people 60 and 70 still out here messing with any and that, so I'm like, when do you all stop? Like, when is it going to take? So, but I think that stems from childhood trauma. It's unresolved external validations that they seek from someone else. And I think once we become whole within ourselves, we stop seeking external validation. We stop looking for the bigger, better deal, the prettier, the more money. When we are okay within ourselves is when it will stop.
Okay. Now,
that requires us to do the work on ourselves.
So you think it's a learned? Do you think is that a learned behavior?
No.
You think that's not a learned behavior?
No, because everybody has their own mindset. Even if you watching it, it don't mean you have to repeat what you're learning.
Right.
Good. No, I learned something tonight because I thought that you let me see that you can have trauma and trigger at the same time. I thought that you had trauma first and then something happens to you and it triggers the trauma. That's what brings it out.
It's both.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know that you can do both. I thought one had to happen and then you do the other.
No.
You see what I mean, French?
If you were never smacked in the face and somebody came and smacked you in the face,
right?
That's not trauma. That's trigger.
Okay. It's a trigger because
you don't want nobody smacking you in your face.
The first time is trauma.
You ain't do nothing.
Because you got traumatized if it never happened.
Right. The first time, no, you're not. The first time is trauma. You got smacked in your face. You never got smacked in your face before. The first time is trauma. But the second time, hit you. It's right. The second time is a trigger. So it's so funny that we're talking about because some of our, other guests that we had, on the show with us, I always talked about the trigger, right?
Okay.
And so for him, it seems like his trigger for a woman was with the head always, because he always talking about, he don't want somebody with the head and moving.
Right.
So I would do it all the time. I said, that's your trigger, right? That's your trigger from not being attracted to a woman who, got all the head motion and stuff like that. I said, some are extra with it, but a lot of times we talk with our hands.
Right.
So,
but did he tell you why that was a trigger? Like, did his mother used to do that to him?
No, he denies it. He denied and said that it's not a trigger. And I tell him, yes, it is. It's definitely a trigger.
Okay. And friend, and I'm learning so much with talking to you ladies. So do can you ladies watch a man or be in a conversation and kind of by his body language tell what his triggers is before he even goes into a full-fledged conversation?
No,
not really. Only through the conversation. It depends on the topic, what we're talking about, and through the conversation. When then I can say, oh, that's a trigger. You know what I mean?
Right.
But other than that, not just appearance wise or anything like that.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Right.
But
this is so hard.
Huh? Yeah. Of course. What else you have? I have one thing that I wanted to announce. But Birdman, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of it.
I love it. Listen, I look forward, ladies. I look forward to this conversation. I'm learning. I love it. I love bringing these questions to the table because everybody, people come and we can have a two-day look. Friend telling you ladies, look, I love what you told me because I know now that you can have triggers and traumas at the same time.
Yep.
And I love that analogy what y'all told me about with the slapping. And I like, wow, so that I really learned something tonight with that because I just thought you had to get traumatized. Then you get triggered later, but the trauma had to happen first.
But you're right in that stance too. But it just can happen both ways. So you're right.
Okay.
And you're thinking.
Right.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, therapy. I think, everybody needs, even including myself, I need to sign up right now. we all need some kind of therapy because I have triggers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I have triggers. I don't have any trauma, thank God. Amen to that. But I have a lot of triggers, and it just comes from not being patient with stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. And so I'm triggered, and then I'll just snap or whatever. But
exactly. Now, do you think people? Have you ever been studied for those people that find your triggers and try to offset you with it? Have you ever been in those situations, Francello, or you just it just happens? I mean, basically what I'm saying, do people intentionally try to trigger you because they know that?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's intentional. Right. Some is not intentional. Some it's just who they are.
Okay.
And so I have to learn. I have to learn who they are and get rid of those triggers and saying it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just for an example, my daughter, she's slow to me. Like I'm a person, when I'm ready, I'm ready. Or I give you a time, you should be ready. And she constantly does it, and I already know this about. So I'm living with it. But I'm only living with it because it is my daughter. If it was somebody else, you might not even see me again. I ain't your friend no more because I don't even care. So certain people in your life that you love and you care about, you allow those triggers and you just keep rolling with it. You know what I'm saying? But I have some people who purposely pull my string. But I think that with maturity, I'm proud of myself because some I should have whipped their ass. But
I get it.
I get it. Saying? Like, so we're in my life now, I want peace. You know what I mean?
Yes, that part.
Back in the day, all that drama and stress and no, I want peace, and I thank God for the peace that I have right now in my life. You know what I'm saying? So
no, and you could tell, and I'm so, ladies, you know what? This was such a good thing that I'm on here tonight because I'm just going to go back and just talk about this to some people because y'all really opened up my eyes with a lot of things because that. I think that self-care, like you said, friend, ladies, because I don't like to exclude anybody, I think that is so very important. And like you said, what you tolerated in 1995, I like the fact, like you said, here at 25, you're on a whole different thing.
Yep.
You have to be. It's called growth.
Yep.
Right.
You should be. Not you have to be. You should be.
Right.
Nobody is that important, more important than you are.
Right.
No, and once you lead with that, you learn how to deal with people accordingly.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
But when did y'all get it though? Because
I didn't get it, to be honest with you. I didn't get it till probably 2005. 2005.
Okay. Oh, so you got it together a long time ago.
Yeah, because people always used to tell me, "Oh, Lynette, why you always do this? Why you always the person to do this? Why you always overextending yourself? Why you always doing da?" And I always thought, no, it's not that. It's not that. I'm just a nice person. And And then as people started walking away from my life, I'm like, okay, let me sit back and just watch and observe and see what's really going on. And so when it opened my eyes and I said, well, you know what? They were right. They were right. If I don't call people, they don't call me. If I don't go visit people,
that part right there,
I don't see them. They don't.
Now tell communication. Now, you know what? I think that's a trigger for me, ladies, where not the calling, but the whole. All right, this is what somebody said to me. Y'all help me, and I'm loving this conversation. You ever have somebody say they're busy and ask you to do something, but right after they text you and tell you they're busy, you'll go and see that green light on social media and they're doing X, Y, and Z. Now, I'm not a social media stalker, but I won't respond back to them, because if I text you and said, hey, let's go to Walmart, then you inbox me on Facebook and say, well, what you doing? You ready now? I'm not going to go, ladies. Now you tell me, is that being petty? Because I just text you. So you didn't respond to me on your phone, but you're asking me on social media. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, maybe their phone is upstairs and they're on their laptop.
Okay, great. Okay, see that. So you're helping me knock those bias chips off my shoulders, because I jumped to conclusion. Now you're gonna make me apologize to a lot of people, because I'm like, what I'm saying stuff to them that's not in the Bible, like, this is crazy. But
you never know. You just never know. I'm not saying that was the situation, but get the facts before you blow up.
Right. And you know what? And I say, because I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini too, and I am
petty. And I have 365 personalities.
I am petty Betty, and I'm going to stay petty Betty.
I'll say this, Franchella. I've never seen that side of you, but I haven't seen that. But I think that most Geminis, the May ones sometimes a little bit different from the June ones, but I know we can be not revengeful, but we're going to give you back what you give us, and we're going to teach you the lesson. We're going to definitely teach you the lesson, so you're not to do that again. And I think, like, I'm with Franchella. I am so impatient, and I have to work on that. Maybe y'all help me when I come on the show. I'm very impatient, and I don't like, if I'm going out, date, anything like this. I went out with a friend and she was like, Birdman, she said my real name, Birdman, I'm coming. So she said she was coming at 8. She didn't get there till like 10. She said she putting on her makeup. I didn't know she flew over to Dubai to get a facelift. I wanted to see her face, because I never knew it takes you 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock to put on makeup.
Right.
And then me and her stopped hanging out, because I'm like, you're not punctual. You're not punctual.
Right. 5 or 10 minutes.
And that's the trigger for me.
Yeah, that was 10 minutes is
fine, but 2 hours later, no. I have had people. I have a lot of events at my house. Yeah, and I have had people who, first of all, you didn't RSVP. You come to the door, you didn't get in. You came extra late, you didn't get in. I had my uncle, who was a pastor, my family reunion, who I did it several years. He came to the banquet. I told him McDonald's is down the street and around the corner. You can go there. Like, this ain't new. I'm 60 years old. We've been having a family reunion for 60 years. Information goes out. You know everything. Don't come here and play stupid. Like, I have a no tolerance. I have a no tolerance for just people and everything. Like, it's just, and I sometimes I question myself, like, am I wrong? But I just can't have people walk over top of you and expect you to be, now you can give them a chance. Everybody does deserve a second chance, and maybe a third. 3 strikes you're out. But after that, especially if it's nothing devastating, if it's not, you know what I'm saying, something
right. But do they have they ever tried to guilt you with the Bible?
No.
You know how people family members guilt you with the Bible, like like that. I thought you was this, or what would Jesus do? And I tell them, well, I'm not Jesus.
Right.
And when they like try to guilt you, but I'm with you, Francella, on your behavior or whatever, because I am a boundary setter, but I'm like Lynette. In the beginning, I would soften my boundaries based on who it was. And then because those boundaries were softened, like you ladies said, my triggers and trauma got set off because I had to learn, I can't do this with you because like the young lady I was telling you about, I waited for the 2 hours. I'm like, no, I don't want to flip and act crazy because, okay, she's slow or whatever the case may be. But then, like you said, I had to learn like you sent your uncle, McDonald's is around the corner. I told her, go out with somebody else because you took too long.
Yep.
Right. I think that's the lesson. I wouldn't have probably said that to my uncle, but I would have definitely said it to the girl. I would have went out, and the lesson would have been, I'm going out with somebody else, or I'm going out on my own. And now you left with your face all made up with nowhere to go.
Right, exactly.
That's the lesson.
But you think she was being, one of my friends was like, and that's why I like to get mature advice from ladies like you. Oh, she was disrespecting your time. And so y'all agree with that? Y'all think that was disrespecting?
Absolutely. Okay, because 100%.
Right, because
you don't want anybody to lie to you, but girlfriend should have made something up. You know what I mean?
Or she should have called you and said, look, I'm running behind. I'm running a little late. My makeup is taking longer than I anticipated. Is it okay if, you
meet me there or whatever? But is 2 hour, is makeup is makeup a 2 hour job?
Unless you are a full-blown makeup artist and you really, no. Yeah. Unless you're a full-blown makeup artist and you putting on foundation for somebody else and you getting a picture ready, it shouldn't take 2 hours.
But not at home. It shouldn't take you 2 hours to do no makeup.
No, not at all. Maybe she really wanted to get beautified for you. But hey, what the hell she look like with the makeup off? It take 2 hours for her to put
I didn't see a difference.
So them 2 hours.
And not saying that she wasn't horrible, but I'm like, what were you
really doing?
Right. You know what I'm saying? What were you? The whole night was hard. The whole night was horrible, y'all. And that's why I don't go out with these friends. So I met another female friend there. We went out. The person that took forever for the makeup, she said, let's ride with me. We go out, boom, have a good time, come back. She says, Birdman, I forgot where I parked at. We walked around the parking lot for 2 hours in the cold because she forgot where she parked at. I said, don't you have a little key thingy to make it beep? We walked around. Here she goes, I know it's an Escalade. I'm like, well, I know you should know what your car is because you drive it. We walked around for 2 hours looking for her car, right? Guess where it was?
Where?
Parked right in front of the event that we was at. Here she go, oh my God, y'all, there it is right there. We walked around the car. We walked past the car like 300 times, and she didn't know it was her car. So I don't go out with neither one of them anymore.
Blame it on her.
Wait. And listen, let me tell y'all one more funny story and let me know because y'all get y'all a good laugh. So this same chick that I hung out with out again. I said, come on with me. We're going to hang out with my buddy Tony Terry. You know, the singer. We hanging out, y'all. We whatever. So Tony, we talking and everything like that. He asked her, you know, I'm treating. You want something? She said, oh yeah. You know, I gave her the eye like, don't overindulge because this is an entertainer. So she got what she got. So then we talking, lady. So this is a trigger for me. She said, Tony. He said, what? She said, well, what happened to the group? So Tony Terry saying to her, well, what group you talking about? Guess what she said, y'all?
What?
Ain't you in Tony?
Oh.
I said, she ain't in no, bad word. He ain't in no blankety blank Tony. That's Tony Terry, a singer. She was like, oh my God, I thought he was in Tony. I could not believe that she said that to him, y'all.
She must don't listen to music.
Yeah, but no, she do. She's in the era that Tony and Tony Terry is not the same people. But I think, that was crazy.
But you know what? If she's not into music like that's an honest mistake. Only because his name was Tony and he was a musician. So I can see my butt saying something like that.
Right. But see, you're musically inclined, so you would know.
Not really.
But I mean, you know Tony.
I know Tony. I know Tony, and I know Tony Terry because that's my song, my wedding song. So I would have known that. Okay. But if not, I'm just trying to think of an example. But that probably was an honest mistake on her part.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I thank y'all for helping me to not be to not have so many triggers because I'm thinking maybe I'm being too presumptuous. Yeah, because I'm very presumptuous. Like I'm thinking that they're doing, us as our chocolate people, we think, oh, they being smart. You know what I mean? So I'm learning to filter that out my system where everybody's not being facetious, sometime or being vindictive. That's why I like the female perspective because that chromosome is soft. Where the guy chromosome, they being smart. Cut, but feel, oh no, it's not like that, bird. Look at it this way. So I'm learning to
perspective.
Yeah, look right. Get my perspective different on people's behaviors so I won't have those triggers. And this was so great that me and Franchella connected that I'm on here with her. Like I'm having a good time, y'all. I'm really happy to be here.
We thank you for your time.
What's up, Birdman? Tony said hey.
Hey, you're Tony, not Tony Terry.
Yeah. My Tony.
Yeah, we got to get him on here. Y'all know I'm the master of those group conversations, lady. But I hope this is the beginning of some great stuff because this show, friend, I would have been coming on your show. This is beautiful. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. But
I love it, and I love old boy that you was trying to give him the Ezek signal, and he still was giving a lecture. I was loving that. I love it. I thought he was going to get your trigger. I said, Fred is getting ready to cut him like a Ginsu. Yeah, I was laughing. I saw you. You was like, yeah, and thank you for coming.
Everybody, it's nothing personal. Everybody has a certain allotted time.
Exactly. No, and I get it. I was just watching Friends. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, because
she gave him the three. She gave him 3 warnings, and he still kept talking.
Like we got to get this person on.
Yeah, you let him talk, and then that last one, I said, "Oh, she going in for the kill." I laughed. I said, "She gonna get him now."
You know me too well. You know me.
Yeah, I did. I laughed.
So tell people where they can find you, Birdman.
Okay, well, listen. Yeah, you can right now. You can find me. I'm going to lay across this bed, but no, you can find me. My real birth given name is Joey Parham, and I still have my Birdman show, which I play music, and on Instagram is at Parham Joey. But I still do the music, still do the entertainer. Franco, during the day, I'm a kindergarten teacher. And after that, I have, my own little business thing. But I look forward to coming on, ladies. This is awesome. I feel welcome. I feel like I should be here. I love it.
Right. Yeah, love it too. Thank you for joining us, Joey.
Thank you.
Yes.
Deanna, go ahead.
No, yes, and it's nice meeting you,
Lynette.
Nice meeting you too.
Yes, Lynette. Yes,
thank you for being on the show. I wanted to say something about Deanna's comment too. Deanna, she did you a favor, so it's no love lost. I read you said a friend you waited for 3 hours and before leaving the party, and she stopped speaking to you, or she stopped being your friend. She did you a favor. So
right.
Yeah,
onward and upward.
She must know her.
No, I don't. I'm serious about me, y'all. I really don't let people get too much to me now. In the moment, sometimes I ain't perfect, so sometimes they do get me. But after I sit back and think about it, and I'm like, you know what? It's not that deep. You go your way, I go my way. We both at peace.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still learning, y'all. And maybe y'all can help me. Like I still backslide. What is that called? Sometimes the addicts do it. What you call it when you go back?
We fall short of the glory of the Lord. We all do. But you ask for forgiveness and you keep it moving. You try to do better next time. That's all.
I just need to announce this before we go, y'all, because the conversation always gets so good. We run over time. But my little cousin Nadia, she has a Hoop Dreams. That's the name of her her company. She's doing a Cinderella story. Every year is free prom dress giveaway. So she's accepting new and gentle worn dresses. And it's going to be on Saturday, March the 15th at 3848 Lancaster Avenue in Philadelphia from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will put this also on our site. For more information, if you want to call 215-840-3470 or inbox info@hoopdreams.com and hoopdreamsinc.com. If you have any dresses, any new or gently used dresses, because these young ladies, there are people out there that can't afford to buy prom dresses. So if you have anything that's in your closet or you want to go and purchase anything to give, please do so, or inbox me and I can get it to her, whatever the case may be. But once again, we had a wonderful show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and being a part of the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. And we will see you next month on the, what's that date? The 8th? Wait, let me get it right.
So y'all know.
April 8th. Yes.
April 8th.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right.